I've been spending a lot of time online recently for the last 15 years. What with, and here are some ominous words, everything that's going on. And I had hoped, with Baby's First Apocalypse, that we'd see some variety in online ads or something. But no. Not at all. I'm the sort of weirdo that likes to keep my psychological profile out of the hands of big cola. They're not to be trusted. So I think I've had a pretty non-targeted experience with ads. I've had ads for Muslim dating, wood chippers, what does she look like now? Why are people going mental over these soybeans? And what always astonishes me is how much effort goes into putting ads in front of us, but how little effort goes into the actual content of the ad. I know, of course, this will fall on deaf ears, but if there is somebody controlling online ads and it isn't some malicious but not very capable AI, then please take it as read that I know how to empty my bowels in the morning. I don't need an image of two halves of a beetroot held in medical gloves, like a university professor is teaching some students, this is a human shit. I don't need that in between my stories on CNN about how the world is on fire. If I did need to know how to empty my bowels, I wouldn't find it out like that. I would never click on that. Fool. I also don't understand why anybody would click on an ad or think anybody would click on an ad that doesn't have any text on it and isn't clear what the ad is for. Like, I recently saw an ad that was just a picture of baked beans with no text or anything. I only knew it was an ad because it said ad underneath it. Who's clicking on that? Who's paying for that? Is it like Got Milk? Are beans controlled by everyone? Like if the auto industry became a proper cartel and you just started to see ads that just said car. Beans. Buy beans. I guess online advertising is so cheap that it doesn't matter. You just throw it out there, like slinging shit at a barn. I once got one between pages, one of those fucking ones between pages where you have to press X. Like, this is a tangent, but have you noticed as well with the online ads, you'll sometimes be looking on your phone and then the whole fucking thing will move. It's like, I like to look at my phone with one hand and one hand down my pants. That's my choice. Anyway, I once got one in between pages where you have to click the fucking X, and it was for, are you an over 40 black woman going bald? How many over 40-year-old black women are scrolling through the internet who go, oh, I never considered that. You think it must be effective to exist, but that's even more depressing. There's no amount of money that Burger King could spend on an ad that would make me think, yeah, okay, I'll eat there. At least with fast food, though, there's usually a deal. There's usually something to advertise. This season, all of our meat meal is going to be in a crenulated puck. Curly fries. Normal fries, but curly. And curly fries that are super curly, that follow the golden spiral all the way down to God. Rick and Morty done a sauce. But with soda ads, that is a complete mystery to me. And by the way, we don't say soda in England. We say pop, because soda is what you cut orphans' gin with for their breakfast. Alright? But soda ads, who's that convincing to buy soda? Because I've never met somebody, an adult person who doesn't drink soda, who thinks one day, I would really like for my teeth to feel really furry whilst I'm eating this egg cress sandwich. That sounds appealing. Ooh, full of sugar too. Great. And soda drinkers, you don't need to advertise soda to those people. I mean, they seem to drink as much as the human body can drink of soda. You don't need to advertise anything to them. Have you been to a restaurant? Not lately. Have you been to a restaurant and seen them quaffing it down by the pitcher? Do you all have regular drinks, please, sir? Free bread, please. And more free bread? Can we take this bread with us? But of course it does work. It's just a reminder that it exists. If there could be a 10-second ad that was entirely black with the white words, drink Pepsi, as someone screams, drink Pepsi, over and over for 10 seconds, I bet that would be just as effective as a multi-million dollar, I was going to say pound, dollar, yen, multi-million yen ad full of syrupy ignorance where people love each other or whatever. But I bet they don't do it, because if they did, people would start to lose the mall Santa haze and rise up against big cola. Rise up to drink water and outworse their own piss. But at least with those ads, they're not disgusting to look at. This year I've had a smorgasbord of feet ads, despite telling Jeff Bezos twice that I find them offensive. You've probably seen them too. Just a picture of a foot. Could be a real foot, could be a cartoon foot. Do you need some sort of feet product? Are your feet disgusting? Like the baldness ads, you don't need to advertise that. If I have gross cartoon feet, I will seek treatment for it. If no treatment is available, I will go back to that wood chipper. Don't worry about it. Feet. No. I don't want to see your feet. Any feet. I don't want to see a rendering of feet. I would petition to have Michelangelo's David not have the thing over his cock. Just put some clogs on him. Also, throughout the year, adverts for sandals, and one in particular where the foot, the subject of the portrait, if you like, has white toenails. Now I'm going to go on a tangent here. There are my notes. It just says make something up. When I was a young man, I used to have to go to St Pancras all the time, which is a train station in London, and I didn't have a lot of money because I was always saving up in the hopes of one day being unemployed again. I got to know St Pancras really well, and St Pancras was, I haven't been there for a long time, quite a nice station, quite a nice train station for Europe. And I spent a lot of time there. There's not a lot to do without spending money. So I would spend a lot of time in the toilet, in the St Pancras toilets, the male toilets, which were fabulous because they would have wall-to-floor ceilings, and they were like the warmest place to be. So I'd spend probably about 4 or 5 hours a week on the toilet in St Pancras reading a copy of Viz. And when you're spending like an hour at a time on the toilet, you know, you've got your work bag, you've got to get over putting that on the floor, you've got your coat, it's really not much of a stretch to break out the thermos. So anyway, one day I went there and they'd shut the toilets for some reason, so I had to go to a whole new bathroom that I didn't know anything about. What a revelation that was. And it wasn't anywhere near as comfortable as the nice toilets I had become accustomed to. So, you know, had to do the I'm not much of a prude, but you know that thing where you just tighten your arsehole just a little bit? You're still in contact with the porcelain, but you just sat there, you know, with your thermos, with your copy of Viz. And anyway, I was there, and in this bathroom they had some very shiny tiles, which I discovered enabled me to witness in a full panorama a lady come into the disabled toilets next door, and a lady who was chewing something, I guess it was toffee or taffy or a bee or something, and hover her anus over the toilet, pull down, I guess, her sweatpants, not make any contact with the toilet, and spray shit everywhere. I observed this by complete accident. Chewing non-stop. And the reason I tell you this is because whenever I see that advert with the white toenails, I think of that. Because I swear to God, they were her feet. Anyway. Whatever. Also, I'm gonna do a video every Friday, but it's Christmas next week and I'm doing the 12 days of Christmas thing, 13 videos. So, this is a new series that I will not be continuing next week. That makes sense. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Bye.